yes, they are doing it. There are deals out there, but there are long-term, short-term, commercial. You have all.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, back in Los Estados Unidos. That's right. It has been a summer of travel over here for me and the family. I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer. I know it is almost over, guys. I don't know about you, but my kids have to do a soft start back on August 6th, and then I think like the 11th might be the main day that they're all starting. It looks like you're on. But it's been a wild summer, and it's almost over, and it's a little bit sad, but it's a little bit happy as well. Are you one of those guys who the summer schedule just messes you all up with the kids not being in school? Well, I can tell you they're about to go back, and it is going to be wonderful because we will all be back on a normal schedule eventually, I promise. Just give it a couple more weeks. So we are going to have an awesome show with you today. We'll get the volume down on there. Here, she'll help you. So we've got another real estate agent. That's why we're doing real estate and investing today, because we've got a good friend of mine, Danielle Tichio. She's with Impact Realty, over a decade in the business. Sorry, we got a little feedback. We're playing around with the Instagram over here. As you know, we like to go live for all of our listeners as well. So we're going to have Dani on the Instagram. We've got Senia helping her right now.
Thank you, Senia.
And we're going to be doing some stats. Now, it's funny. I walked in the studio, and you guys know I know you love the stats because you guys text me about them all the time. I walk in the studio, and both of these ladies have all the same statistics pulled up on their computers and phones and all this stuff. So I tell Dani, I was like, we're going to do some stats. She goes, oh, you know I have stats, right? I'm like, oh. So Senia, for the first time ever, two people with stats.
I love it.
Right?
I'm excited.
I am too. So how was your weekend, Sen?
You know what? It was good. They're going by so fast.
Gosh, aren't they?
Yes.
Summer, I know you're helping her, but summer is almost over.
Oh, don't say that. But yes, it's true.
It's like bittersweet.
At least we have one more vacation. So.
Wait, is it the cruise?
I got the cruise, and I know you're going somewhere too, right?
Yeah.
Handy just got back from somewhere.
I know. I just flew in 2 days ago. I'm flying out tomorrow morning to North Carolina, weather permitting. So that'll be fun. That's kind of our little last family vacay, kind of, sort of. But I do have a really fun story I'm going to tell our listeners. But first, I want to introduce Dani. Because if you've ever experienced promiscuous dolphins, that's the teasing I'm going to give you guys. Dolphins can be very promiscuous. So before I talk about promiscuous dolphins, my good friend Dani Tichio, welcome to the Business Happy Hour.
Thank you.
Yeah, is it your first time on radio?
It is my first time on radio.
Don't tell me you're nervous.
Just a little.
Oh, get it. Dani is, I joke with her. I hope she doesn't kill me for saying this.
Oh, boy.
But I call her the toughest broad I've ever met. I mean, just tough personality, great businesswoman, great negotiator, never nervous, always outgoing. When she texted me this morning and said she was nervous. I'm sorry, I'm calling you out so bad. But you said I was nervous.
This is totally out of my wheelhouse.
Oh my gosh. I thought she was messing with us. Like,
no,
I literally
it really
thought because we had James, the producer, and Senia on there, and she says, I'm nervous. I'm like, no, you're not. I've never seen you nervous in your life. So
I do not like to do public speaking.
Well, just think that there's no one listening to you. Just
Except
Senia
us?
and I. Just us.
Yeah,
That's
we're
all.
just having a
Okay,
conversation,
great.
just us three.
That's it. And we're going to talk about real estate, something you're great at. Design. You have an eye for design with your flips and investments. And, we'll get to this a little later in the show, but as a little tease, if you have ever flipped a house or you ever thought about flipping a house and you were kind of stressed, like, I don't even know what to pick out. I don't know what to do. I don't know what looks good. Well, guess what? There are certain people, Dani Tichio, in this market that know those things. So as a real estate agent, she can help you find the home, but she can also help you design it, pick things out, decorate it, flip it. She might even take you to Home Goods or a Floor and Decor with her. I don't know. Is that true? Do you do that?
I do.
She does. See?
My son hates floor and decor.
Oh, my! I mean, I hate. Have you been to Floor and Decor, son?
I'm sure I have,
I think
but
you have.
it's really not my forte either. I just go everywhere. I like this, and then what's actually going to look good? It's hard to make choices.
Put it together. Well, some people have eyes for it, and some don't. And Dani and my wife both have eyes for that type of stuff. Floor and Decor. I mean, I'm sure you've been there about 1,000 times, right? It's funny because now I've been there so many times. I was on the beach in Madeira a month ago, and I'm walking through one of the stores that got destroyed, and they redid the whole thing. And I'm walking, I'm like, oh, that's from Floor and Decor. That's from Floor and Decor. I know like all the tiles now, all the stuff on the wall. So anyway, Floor and Decor, shameless plug. Maybe you guys want to come on the show. So Dani, you've been in real estate just a little bit over a decade now. You're with Impact Realty. I do want to get a couple things out before we tell a fun little story about our weekends, and then we're going to do some great statistics, and then we're going to find out a little bit more where you're from. But the website for Dani, okay, is DaniSellsTampaBay.com, and I got to make a point. It's DaniTSellsTampaBay.com.
I was just going to say, don't forget the T.
Don't forget the T for Dani Tichio, and it's spelled with an I, DANI, letter T, sellstampabay.com. So that's where you're going to go. But remember, if you ever forget, you guys can always call Cindy on her number or my contact, frankthebank.com, and we'll get you in front of Dani if somebody wants to talk to you. Matter of fact, Cindy, what the heck is your number you always give out?
My number is 813-755-REAL.
That's it, 755-REAL. Super easy for y'all to find Cindy online. So let's just talk a story real quick. You know me, I like to get a little stories out from what we've done. So we had fun spending a few nights with some friends. No kids, actually, so it was kind of nice, in St. Thomas, St. John, and a couple of the British Virgin Islands. And one of the girls with us really wanted to see sea turtles. That was like her mission. She had to see a sea turtle. And it was our last day, and we were at Megan's Bay, and, I had brought a bunch of snorkel equipment for everybody, and I'm like, all right, guys, I was like, at the end of the day, it's usually better when they're feeding, I've seen them in a couple places. I'm like, let's just snorkel out there and see what we see. So we go out, I don't know, 500 yards, pretty far, and didn't see anything, just some fish. And then there's a couple buoys, a couple 100 yards away, and I think the girls were getting tired, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to swim over to those buoys. If there's anything there, I'll let you know. I go over to the first buoy, giant sea turtle at the bottom of the buoy. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, turtle, right? So they all come swimming over. Then we figured out that was what they call cleaning stations. The turtles go in there and the fish surround them and they clean off their shells. So every buoy we went to had one or two turtles, and they were so nice. We swam down to them. They let us swim with them. I don't know if I should be saying this on the air, but it wasn't really America. But anyway, we could pet them. We could swim. They were just docile. They were so cool, right? And we didn't have to pay for it. That was also really cool. But here's where it got weird. So dolphins. Have y'all swam with dolphins before?
A long time ago.
Right, like a Discovery Cove thing or something like that, right?
I haven't. I may, though, on the cruise. That's one of our things.
So it is fun, and I've done the Discovery Cove, but we're way out there, who knows how far out in the water, and one of the girls' husbands comes running to the shore, and I'm thinking, oh my God, there's a shark, and he's like waving at us, and he's like, dolphin, and I see all this commotion over by the shore, so I'm like, girls, we better go, there's a dolphin over there. So we start hauling butt, make it over there. It was like Discovery Cove in nature. This dolphin, this adolescent dolphin, was like playing with everybody. Like you could ride on him, you could pet him, he was flipping around underneath you, coming up, kissing you, and then came the red rocket. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Right? Well, there we go. Mr. Dolphin, Mr. Flipper, found himself a mate that day, and it wasn't me. So, thanks, James. That was a good one. This dolphin apparently was very promiscuous. And there was a lady that not in our party, that he really took a liking to. And she didn't seem to mind so much. So this dolphin was literally doing everything it could to mate with this lady. Yeah, just like that. Kneecaps, back of legs, everything you could imagine. And it didn't leave. So we ran, we got the camera, we got underwater. I'm about to show you all the video. Too bad I can't show it to you guys right now. I might go to jail if I do. I don't know. It could be some type of porn. We don't even know. But this dolphin would not leave this lady alone. And then I started video, and then it tried to like bite the camera out of my hand. I think it was playing. I think it was a playful bite. And then it went over to a friend of ours, and she was like having to push it away. That's how crazy it was. So here's a tip. If you don't want to spend the $400 at Discovery Cove and you happen to be in St. Thomas, evenings around 5 p.m., you can meet Flipper, the promiscuous dolphin, right off the beach. He will come up and play with you and become your best friend. And if you have somebody that needs a boyfriend, bring him to meet Flipper because he is definitely looking for one.
I can't say I've ever heard the dolphins are like that.
No.
I did not know that either.
So we wouldn't have known either, but we rented a boat the day before, and the boat captain lady was telling stories when we were snorkeling to the girls were with us about these dolphins and started showing pictures and saying, yeah, they get promiscuous and blah, blah, blah. We're like, oh, you are kidding me, right? 24 hours later, we were taken advantage of by the dolphins. She actually said if there are 3 dolphins, get out of the water because they will actually try to like force you down and stuff like that. But if it's just 1, maybe 2, they don't do that. So business happy hour tip of the day. Yeah, watch yourself with the dolphins in St. Thomas.
That was your fun fact.
Yeah, that was my fun fact. I had to get that story out there.
Fact.
I always have to have a fun fact. And, it's very interesting, though. So I told my wife when we got home, I have had my fill of sea turtles and dolphins probably for a very long time. I think I'm totally good, and I'll never. But I do think they're beautiful animals. It's fun. Pay for it on the cruise. Do the little thing. And I'll give you some more advice on that later.
Okay.
Woo! All right, so when we get back, we are going to talk real estate statistics. We're going to learn about who Danielle Tichio is. That's Dani, D-A-N-I-T, sellstampabay.com. We're going to talk about her story, and then we'll get into a little bit of flipping, investing. We're going to do statistics. So if you're thinking about real estate investing, if you're thinking about doing flips, if you're thinking about buying a home, this is the show for you today because we are talking all real estates and horny dolphins. And that part is over. So stay tuned to the Business Happy Hour. And don't forget to call Cynthia if you need anything. It is
813-755-REAL.
Or go to contactfrankthebank.com and check out the super low interest rates, guys. We are back in the 5s. It's time to buy. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute with Dani and Cynthia. Dude, Berlander, that was hilarious.
You did a really good job of that.
I was just going to say, you're a natural for this.
Could you hear the music in y'all's ears? Yeah. He throws on the sexy music. Your Instagrammers can't hear it, but there was some sexy music when we were talking about the dolphins. But by the way, don't forget we are on Instagram Live. It's okay. I've made the mistake to bring the phone in the toilet one time.
My weekend was not as fun as that.
No?
I built a bourbon bar out of an old cabinet for Jack.
Oh, you did that finally.
I did.
Yes.
And I got the glass in and the lights and...
You built the whole thing?
No, so I found an old piece of mid-century modern furniture, and I refinished it where it was not in great shape, and it's like an old 1960s true walnut mid-century modern. Ready?
Yep, ready.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Senia Kishina.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. And today we're going to teach you how to be a real estate investor with Cynthia and Dani. We are going to talk real estate statistics. We're going to talk maybe a couple stories about flips and investing. There's good, there's bad. But if you have the right people guiding you, it can always be good. And that's kind of the key is you don't jump in the pool without knowing how to swim. And sometimes you need someone to help you learn how to swim. And that's what we have on the show today. Dani Tichio with Impact Realty, her website, DaniTSellsTampaBay.com. So Dani, tell us a little bit about where you're from, and then we'll get to know you, and then you and Cynthia can go crazy on these stats.
Okay, so originally I'm from New York.
Okay.
I moved here in 1999. I've had a 20-year career in merchandising and design and product development for clothing in the furniture industry. And then I got into real estate by first investing and flipping houses.
Yes.
And I had a builder I worked with that said that I would be great in real estate and doing some design work for him. So I got my license and I decided to do it full time in 2018.
That's awesome. And so you did do some flips and some investing beforehand. So you kind of got to see the other side. And I like stories like that because you got to see, and then you decided, well, I think I should go in and do the real estate side. And does it also help to be a real estate agent when you're flipping or no?
Well, it all goes hand in hand, right? So the more knowledge you have, the more beneficial it is to yourself and to anyone you're working with. So having the design background, the spatial planning, the real estate, and I did supply chain analytics, and I was a category manager and a buyer for, $100 million portfolio. So knowing the numbers as well makes a lot of sense.
I think that's a big mistake. Cynthia, do you see a lot of investors make mistakes, when they don't calculate numbers ahead of time and fall in traps?
Yeah. But I think you getting in 2018, I mean, those were good flipping times.
They were great years.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I think we started in 2015 when we moved back from Dallas.
That was the real hot flipping time for sure.
It really was, because right now, I would be curious, what your thoughts are, how you would be able to get the deals and if it's still worthwhile to invest, in flipping opportunities.
I think since last September, there's more opportunity than there has been since 2020.
That's true.
So the years following 2020, I think that the housing market had gotten too expensive. If we're talking Florida, and since last year, you're definitely seeing a decrease. And if you know what you're looking for and you know what your after repair value should be in those areas, there's a lot of opportunities. However, you're up against a lot of big investors and commercial.
I definitely want us to talk about that. After we do stats, I want to talk about the competition of the big investors.
You're getting a lot more builders that are building more custom homes, especially in areas like South Tampa, where the lot values are so high, but the houses have been flooded. So now they can't get flood insurance anymore. So you're getting a lot of tear downs in those areas, and you're getting a lot of builders coming in and competing with
your regular
homes that you would normally try to flip, renovate and flip.
So are you seeing a lot of big institutions go in there? Is that what you're saying? And they're just trying to buy them up? Because my concern has always been when the flipping market is softer, and I think we would all agree that means that there's less opportunity, right? That those big investors, they go in and buy 10, 20, 30 at a time, right? And so their margin they're looking for, their profit margin might be 10%.
You and I evaluated in Homosassa a few months ago.
Right. And that's right.
We couldn't do it because we were up against
up against the builders.
A developer.
Yeah, exactly. And we even sat down with a builder.
Yes.
And Dani put together a plan and everything. By the way, it was absolutely amazing. Put together an entire portfolio plan, sat down, had the numbers, and we brought the builder in. And the builder looks at us. He's like, oh, I can't do it for these margins. I can't do this. But here's the key. We knew our budget. We knew what profit margin would make sense for us. We didn't, I don't know, I guess we did know the area of what we wanted to do because we knew the piece of property that we wanted to use. So then you bring in the people and you find out the cost, and you got to do that up front.
Building your team up front is the most important piece of that. Even as a realtor, having strong partnerships matter.
Absolutely.
Yes,
definitely. Calling you at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night works.
Yes.
For me.
Speaking of which, so how do you guys know each other?
Oh.
We met. I moved back to South Tampa.
Uh-huh.
You closed my loan.
That's right.
Then you were told by my realtor that I was getting my license. Then we stayed in touch.
Yeah.
And then our sons started fishing. I mean, then we introduced our kids because they're exactly the same age.
Yep.
And they decided they were besties and liked each other a lot.
Yeah.
And we own condos that we rent short term during the winter.
Yep.
And in the summer, we both stay out there. So
yeah.
we started just doing
An
family
elevator
time.
condo?
Oh.
Yes, the elevator condo.
Oh, you heard the story.
Yes. Mine is a second floor walk up, so that we're down the beach from him. But
even if I was third floor, I would probably take the stairs at these points.
But yeah, so we just all started spending time together as families.
And are you collaborating then on little projects or potential investment opportunities?
We talk about it all the time.
Okay.
So
yeah, he's been taking a lot of vacations, so he missed a great one recently.
I did. Well, it's also in investing, it's right place, right time.
Yeah.
Right.
And you needed to come home 2 days earlier.
I really, really did. I did miss out on a good opportunity, which, we'll we'll kind of express to everybody there are opportunities out there right now. But like Danny said, you got to have the right team. You got to have your numbers put together ahead of time. And if you're going to be a brand new investor, we don't expect you to do that on your own. That's why you need to reach out to a real estate agent, a Senia, a Danny, someone, and say, this is what I want. And I think one of the most important questions that I think you would ask is what's your budget, right? And what we mean by that is how much money do you have to work with? Because when it comes to real estate, and we can talk about this later in the show, there are products that you can use to finance. But I think, Danny, you would agree, cash is king, right?
You'll have more leverage.
100% more leverage and less cost. And you can go in and you can make the cash offer on the property, or, you could even do private money. But I'll warn you guys, private money is not cash. So you have to be honest when you're making your offers. If you tell them it's cash and then you use private money, and then the private money lender, like let's say myself, we go and have to order title on the property. Well, all of a sudden, you're not a cash buy, and the listing side says, wait a minute, I took this as a cash offer. So you just have to do it as a non-contingent hardware. Is that what you do, Sen? Non-contingent?
Yeah, and I've had that before.
Right.
Offer was cash, and then we find out later that they are actually getting a private money loan.
Right.
And
it could be
as long as they can close.
That's the key. But then also what it does, I think, you tell me as a real estate agent, shoot, we're going to have to take a break, is can't that technically nullify the contract? If the seller wanted to be a jerk, and you marked cash and you're financing.
You know what? That would be an attorney question, but I'm not sure that you could, because if you do close, yes, like you said, it would be non-contingent.
Right.
So the closing, you can't use any kind of financing contingency that's tied to financing.
Right. And on that note, we're going to take a break on the Business Happy Hour. We'll be back in just a minute with more of Danny and Senia. Save our opinions for the air. You guys on Instagram to get the inside. Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here, or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel, or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. And we are having a great show today. It is all about real estate. We're about to get into some statistics. We're even going to throw in some condo stuff, according to what Senia just told me in the break. So get ready. We're going to have Senia Akishina from Mahar & Associates start the stats. Dani and I are going to chime in, and it's going to be positive. It's going to be good, I promise you, because rates are down and things are about to change. But we're going to find out what happened year over year. Go, Sen.
Oh, Frank, you're always Mr. Positivity. By the way, we lost Dani Instagram.
Oh.
So if you guys want to figure
I'll
that
figure
part
that out.
So what I brought today, and this was because on the last show, we happened to bring up that normally when we do stats, it's really just specific to single family homes. Because I do think the two markets really are separate, values reflected, just, speed of sales, all that. So today I went ahead and pulled up our condo and townhome statistics.
Mm-hmm. For what area?
Well, I went ahead and did like Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, like just our metro area.
Okay. That goes all the way to the
There's
beach?
still some, but I figure, in Hillsborough, like usually, the beautiful big condo buildings downtown, which not all, like when we say these, I don't think it is reflective of all condos.
Okay.
There are some of the, new luxury buildings or whatever where for them maybe, this is not as relevant.
Right.
In my experience, like with the new regulations and things like that, it's some of the older buildings, that had to have, the milestone surveys and the structural integrity studies. And, they start adding up. Oh, you got to redo balconies and this and this. And when assessments keep going up and as a lender, I'm sure condos are not always easy to finance.
Yes.
So, that's caused, a crimp in the market for buyers that do need financing. And, let's get right into them. So for closed sales month over month in May, condo townhome sales were down by almost 30%.
Wow.
So this is volume wise.
May to May.
May to May.
Ooh.
Yep, the median sale price is at $277,500, which is down 8% year over year, and the average is at $348,649, down by 20% year over year. Wow. So median time to contract has been about 47 days, which actually is not horrible.
No.
I actually would think that maybe it was a little bit higher, but compared to our standard market here for single family, we're at about 30, 35 days. So 47 days on that, which is an increase of 17.5% year over year. And the month supply of inventory is at 7.1.
Oh, well, I guess we do have a lot of dilapidated condos for sale.
So yes, when we talk, hey, is it a buyer's market, seller's market, for condos, at least inventory level wise, it is definitely a buyer's market.
Now, are you personally, I'm going to ask you this question too. So are you personally, both of you, seeing a lot of condo sales, or for your personal experience, are you just not seeing many people even trying to buy a condo right now?
People are actually. I just did one, a few months ago. Mm-hmm. But like I said, financing on those is not fun. My buyer was super well qualified.
Right.
Everything was good. We had a hiccup with like the HOA. Answering like a certain mandatory question where we were just going back and forth with the underwriter for a couple of weeks, and we finally got it done.
And I think condos along the beach on the Berry Islands are more difficult. You're seeing a lot of big assessments, and days on market there, if you broke it down that way, are probably a lot higher. I'm starting to see that the sellers are paying the assessments in advance to get the home sold. Like it's been written in the notes more that $36,000 assessment paid prior to
So even if it's not
closing,
due, it's the seller's
That's
just
smart.
doing it.
Yeah.
That's really smart. So that's okay. So the biggest concerns you're seeing with buyers of condos have to do with the assessments, I'm guessing, right? What about the common areas? Because I think that's where a lot of them took damage, even if they were, your condo building, your condo's on the 5th floor, but your downstairs gets wiped out. That's where I'm seeing the issues because it's hard to finance because the banks don't want to do the financing when there's a problem downstairs, even though the unit is completely unscathed. And that's a little issue. Now, what do you think about longer term on this condo market? I've got an opinion, but I want to ask the real estate agents first. Dani, you go first. What do you think? Let's fast forward to this time next year. What's your opinion of what could happen to the condo market in a year from now?
And again, if you're looking at like downtown St. Pete and downtown Tampa, I think you have to look at commercial infrastructure going into those cities. There's so much growth around it. So I think ultimately you're fine.
Yeah.
And they're not making more waterfront. So ultimately the beaches will, I do think it's a good investment still.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a minute. Let's see what you have to say.
Well,
Senator.
I think some people, they wouldn't live anywhere else. They don't want a single family home.
Right.
They don't want the maintenance of it. They want all the amenities. They want the walkability. Some of those views are just, unbeatable. So I think for some people, this has no effect on it. And a lot of those people that are buying in like the super luxury buildings, they probably don't need financing. They've got a few $1,000,000 in the bank where they're just paying cash for them.
Great
and
point.
I also always reiterate to my buyers when they see the high condo fees or HOA fees to see what that includes, because once you're looking at water, pest, trash, basic cable, internet, and the structure of the building's insurance, it's really not as bad as you may think.
Yeah, pool, playground, tennis court.
Correct. Concierge, business center.
Yeah, common area downstairs, all of these things. It's if you own a home, you're paying for dude, if you own a home and you have a pool, first of all, I don't know exact numbers, but I think they say that like your pump and equipment adds about $100 to your electric bill. It could be more by now. And then you probably got a pool guy, unless you got nothing to do, right? And then add another couple hundred, but just owning the pool is $300 a month. So,
and I'd also say that actually in our area though, like I've got friends that own condos in different parts of Florida, our fees are
not as bad.
Because some of these other, I'm like, oh my God, you're paying what a month, to live here?
Yeah.
Not that the amenities are that much different. I really, but
it's all relative to your price too.
Yeah.
That's another thing people don't. A lot of times, you're buying $1 million condo. You might have $1,000 monthly association fee, but you're buying $1 million condo, right? You're not buying a $200,000 condo. So here's Frank the Bank's opinion. Pretty much agree with everything you both said. I believe that the condo market is going to be very strong next year. I think if you can buy a condo now, and that's something that you want, I think it like we talk about in a whole other things, I believe it's a really good buyer's market. I'll be very hard to finance right now. But here's my opinion, and this is coming from a guy who has a place in Madera and seeing what's happening out there. They are recovering, and they are recovering greatly. And every building that I have gone to, not just the stores and restaurants, they're fully renovated. Like our building, for example, brand new common areas, brand new pool, brand new everything, fences, gates, electronics, glass, all this stuff. So I went from a building that's been around for 30 years that just had maintenance done on the crap, right? Patch the pool, do this, whatever, fix a tile, to it is brand freaking new. So now you're going to have all these fully renovated condo buildings, right? Because a lot of nobody really took damage to their units in these hurricanes.
So we're talking about yours was mostly affected then by the hurricane, hence speeding up a lot of the renovations that they did.
Yeah. It forced it, is what I'm saying. And it's basically forced everybody on the beach who took damage to redo it. Hell, we had a funny story. We have a brand new elevator.
But you're not allowed to swim in. Frank's not allowed to swim in his pool, though.
Well, now we can. So that was frustrating. You spend the money on the pool and then it's fixed and they're like, you can't swim in it yet. And you're like, the hell I can't. But anyway, that's what I believe. I think a year from now, everybody's, you got the structural things. Those buildings are going to get fixed. It's not like they're not going to tear them down. And if they do, then it should have, right? But they're going to get fixed. It's going to be safer. You're going to have association fees, but at least you are paying fees for new stuff. That's the whole kicker. You've been paying association fees in condos since the beginning of time, but at least now you're paying association fee and everything's new. That's my opinion.
No, I think overall, yes, if you're on the beach or just in some of these hot spots where, condo living is, ideal, absolutely.
I agree.
So condo, I'm, me, positive pony. Great time to buy a condo. The prices are down.
As far as listen, you can get some great deals negotiated. That's for sure.
Right. So don't be scared about buying the condo. You might need a bigger down payment because you can't get traditional financing depending on the building, but that's not all buildings. So what other stats did you bring?
Well, we still have the main numbers, which I know that's what you had pulled up. So, there's nothing exciting going on.
Yeah.
How about that? But also no, doomsday news either.
Well, we always talk about the clickbait. right? Everybody, we come in here is like, oh, every day is an article.
The one-liners.
Yeah, Florida is sinking. Everybody's leaving Florida. It has the worst markets in the world. Don't come to Florida.
No, market's steady, right? Market's
steady.
steady. I mean, prices are relatively flat. Yeah, no, we're not seeing huge increases, but we're also not seeing big decreases. Things are just kind of level. I think a lot of people are just still waiting for those interest rates to go down. But according to Frank, hey,
Where are we on interest rates as of today?
As of today, FHA and VA is in the mid to high fives. So they're still way lower than what the bank is saying. And conventional is in the low sixes. So if you're being told different, contact frankthebank.com. We'll get you a quote with no application fee. But the key is don't run your payments Googling what the rates are, because you're Googling a rate that's a point higher than what you can actually get. So you got to talk to a professional. Just like don't go on Zillow to find your house. Reach out to one of these ladies right here. Go to DaniTSellsTampaBay.com and she can find you a good deal. And when we get back from the break, we're going to talk real estate investing with Dani and give you some tips and tricks. So stay tuned to the Business Happy Hour. We'll be right back. All right, last segment.
I think if people were just listening to our show and then hearing the actual interest rates,
Ah.
we could just boost up the real
Correct.
estate market,
We
get
gotta
lots
keep
more
saying
buyers
it.
out there.
I do put it out there quite often. Yes, I need to do a whole video. So, Dani, what do you want to hit in the last thing? You want to focus on investing? You want to focus on your particular buyer? What do you like?
I don't know. A little bit of everything.
So, you want me to ask you the stats and see what you think of what was out there?
No, you don't have to.
No.
What do you focus on? So, do you work with a lot of people that are looking to get fixer type properties
So-
where?
This year has been kind of an anomaly. I have
Okay.
not been doing as much. More focus on my own investments. I work with a lot of military. I like to work with. I like guiding first-time home buyers, but yeah, I tend to work with a lot of investors as well.
Okay.
I think we should mention first-time buyers because you hold the hand of the buyers
You do.
better than anybody.
I enjoy seeing them happy at the end. I really do. I enjoy working with buyers.
Well, so many agents out there like, I don't want to work with buyers. I mean, literally, I had lunch with one the other day. Hope you're not watching. But anyway, I'm like, why? It's like, just sellers. I'm like, well, buyers buy and they sell
right
too.
now I would want to work with buyers.
I enjoy, well, the shift, I would tend to lean towards buyers right now as well.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because if they're in the market, they need to buy, and
Bingo.
there's more inventory for them to choose from,
Yeah.
so they're getting what they truly want without having to fight another buyer for the
COVID
property.
market, I did not want to work with
I
buyers.
did not want
No,
buyers.
exactly.
That wasn't fun.
Because there's
Right
too much.
now,
Highest and best, multiple offers,
It
all
was,
this crap.
it was so stressful.
I think you nailed it when you just said they're serious. That's the key. If you're in the market right now, you're a serious client. And that's what we tell our people in the staff too, is we're like, listen, anybody's calling asking for a mortgage now, it's not like you said in COVID. Like nobody's kicking tires. They're actually serious about buying. All right, we're ready. Whenever, yep.
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Kodo, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. This is your last segment. Boy, Dani, see how much fun we're having, how fast this is going?
Yes.
Right? Are you still nervous?
A little bit.
Oh, man. All right. So
Not
I'm
so much.
Not right. We're just talking real estate, and that's what you do best. And we were talking in the break. I hate talking in the break, except for you Instagrammers, because we get all our good stuff out, and they always yell at us. They're like, "Save it for the show. Save it for the show." So I saved this for the show. We were talking about first-time home buyers and just buyers in general. And you two were kind of bantering on, who's the better client right now. And Senia, what did you say?
Well, no, I think we both agree that yes,
do.
working with buyers, that's good right now.
Yeah, it is. And you like first-time home buyers.
I do.
Why?
I like guiding them through the process. I like teaching them. And it's the biggest investment of their life. So seeing it cross the finish line and come to fruition and being a part of it, it's exciting.
See, I like how you're like smiling so big right now.
No, there's
because
a lot
you
of
do.
satisfaction in that.
There is. There really is. And there's a lot of real estate agents out there who try to shy away from that. And I think that your first-time home buyer, like you said, creates that huge experience for them. You're unforgettable to those people.
Well, and as I age, I'm starting to get a lot of my friends' children buying their first time homes. So there's also some
Residual.
familiarity. Yeah, I mean, I know them for a long time, so.
Yeah, I think I love doing it. Now, you talk about guiding them through the process. Talk about that a little bit. What kind of things do they have to deal with? As a first-time home buyer, what things can you, as an agent, help them with that they might not know they need help with? I don't know.
Well, you're kind of the liaison between everybody. So people think you open a door and sell a house, but it's really the behind the scenes. You're dealing with an inspector, you're dealing with the trades, you're dealing with the lender, you're dealing with underwriting, you're dealing with appraisals. There's a lot that you have to do to close a loan, to close a house, to be able to finish it.
Right.
I love that you say that because you know what? So many people do think that, hey, we're just glorified door openers.
Well,
and people say that, us agents in the industry, we know that our job actually doesn't start until you find that house and we get the
Absolutely.
contract on it. Then all the big legwork starts.
That happened with my mom. I was working from her place at the beach, her condo, and she's like, I didn't realize you do all this other stuff. I'm like, this is the stuff that I do all day long. Like opening a door and showing a pretty house is like a very small piece of it.
Your mom literally thought you were the door opener.
It's like, she works so hard. I'm like, thank you.
So you guys heard it here. If you have a family member who's in real estate and you think they don't work all day, follow one of these two around. And I think that I've got to give you both credit for this. You put a lot of work, especially as a buyer's agent. You put a lot of work into buyers before they go into contract. Think about all the searches you're doing. You're analyzing where they want, what they want. Dani, I've worked with you so many times. You look up the schools. You look up restaurants. You tell them what's around there.
I get a lot of relocation.
Right.
From
Good point.
the Northeast due to growing up there my whole life.
And people need a liaison to tell them where they should be. Right? A lot of times, especially relocation, they don't know. I remember my wife told me a story when they first moved from New Orleans and they rented a house sight unseen in like the worst area on the outside of Brandon, like a total, terrible area. And they pulled up, she said, and they pulled up to the house and they saw drug dealers next door or something like that. And they kept driving and went to a hotel and lost their deposit. Right? Had they had someone like you probably would have mentioned to them, let's not rent that property.
I mean, I've sold houses where they didn't see the house until they got here after closing and started the renovation for them.
And how did you do that?
Very stressful. Especially, I met one, and she's still one of my favorites from the Pacific Northwest, and it was during COVID, and she couldn't fly back, and I spent a weekend with her, and we just clicked, and she said, I trust you. If you say this is a good opportunity for me, just buy it and I'll fly in as soon as we can start flying again.
Oh my gosh. So you sent her videos?
I did
assume?
video tours. I hired, people to paint. And
oh, you actually started the renovations before she even
I
got
also
here?
did it for my best friend on Anna Maria Island, started his renovations before he even got here.
You must be really good. And that is a lot of trust.
It's very stressful.
I'm sure.
Well,
you've got the experience.
especially when someone doesn't know you that well.
Right.
But we spent a whole weekend together and we realized that we kind of saw things the same way. So
I'm sure that was an expensive purchase too, from the Northwest down to here, right? Probably wasn't like $100,000 house.
Oh no, it was a nice size.
Yeah. And the other thing is, people don't, I think, understand is the two of you don't get paid by the hour. You don't get paid for all these extra things. You just make the commission on the sale. And that's it. So we're doing a lot of extra legwork for a lot of people that they may not close or not find the right place. So I think it's really important to find somebody who you like and trust. And if they trust you enough to buy a house and spend near $1 million without ever seeing it, that means you do know what you're doing. She's like, yeah.
I don't know.
I
do.
It is Dani,
comes-
DANIT, sellstampabay.com. That's where you're going to find Dani. And working with you, I just want to.
You're probably better off giving my phone number too.
No, go give the phone number. What is that?
813-401-2619.
Got it.
And I answer my text immediately.
She actually does, even better than I do sometimes. It's 813-401-2619, 401-2619. And Dani, we'll put that in the Instagram for you as well. Text her. That's right, Sunday at 10 p.m. Send her a text.
I was just going to say, usually I try to stay away from my phone after 8 p.m. at night.
You are pretty good about that.
I have set boundaries as I've been in this business a little longer. Otherwise, you could end up working around the clock.
You do. Sen, what do you think of that? Working around the clock?
I'm still trying to set boundaries, but I like it that your limit is 8. Like I've met some agents that are like, nope, I'm a 9 to 5. I'm like, who could do real estate 9 to 5?
But I find that most realtors start later, and like I'm ready to go at 6:30 in the morning, so I have to like wait to send emails and text messages out.
No, I think 8 o'clock, that's a good cutoff point.
I think it's very good. And I think the fact that you can do that do not disturb thing now on the phone, it actually kind of tells people, hey, I'll get back to you. You know?
Well, when I started this, my son's the one who called me out. He said, no technology at the table, Mom. It's your rule, because I started working at dinner time.
Yeah, that happens in our house. So, Dani, it has been a great show.
Thank you so much.
You've done amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, thanks, Dani. Nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet
Great
you.
meeting you. Guys, don't forget it's Dani T, sellstampabay.com, or you can text her at 813-401-2619. That's 813-401-2619. Dani, shout out to Zach.
Who's Zach?
Your son. Max. Oh, my God, I said Zach. It's Max. I just did that.
Oh, my God. I'm going to tell him that.
Max, I hope you're not watching this right now, because we're calling you Zach next time I see you.
He wants to be you when he grows up.
Oh, man.
Now he's not going to want
Now
to.
you can't. Well, hey, you can come on the show with us next time. But, Dani, thank you for coming.
Thank
It's been a
you.
wonderful show. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
We're going to end the Instagram live right now. And don't kill me for that one, Max, even though you're probably watching this Instagram right now. That is, she's like, who's
But
Zach?
Max, come on the show when Landon was here. Oh, man, he was a natural like Frank.
Oh.
Was he?
That'll be funny
Was
to
he
see those too.
He's shy usually. Landon's so sweet.
Well, that's what you said, but you did great.
Yeah, exactly. Instagram,
is
make sure you guys like and share and send it out. We'll see you guys next week.
Max is a big personality.
Landon comes on the show and sits in the seat you're in, and we let him take turns, and he gets on it, and the guy just rips it. What does he say? He goes like, he's like, oh, I'm here.